everybody. I'm here with Kane Hodder at the SCARE-A-CUSE horror convention. You may know him as Jason, Victor Crowley, and a bunch of other movies that honestly it's just escaping my mind right now. It's been a long day. But he's been gracious enough to answer some of our questions. Back in the 70s and 80s, you were a stuntman, and it is well known that you've been burned a couple of times over a fair amount of your body. What made you keep pursuing acting and stunts after a couple of events like that?
Well, actually, I'm still a stuntman, 35 years now, and I was only burned once, and that was it, first year in the business. And I just loved the whole idea of doing film and the stunt aspect of it. So I never once considered quitting just because I was injured badly. I just always wanted to do it, and I learned a lot from that injury, and I became a much better stunt person because of it.
Well, that's good. A lot of people would have given up. And because of that, you've also done a lot of charity work for burn wards and burn victims, and mostly kids, if I recall correctly. Do you find that very rewarding, and what do you think the kids get out of that?
Well, I mean, it's certainly a big help with that type of injury to talk to somebody that's been through it, because you are in such pain and nobody knows what you're going through unless you've been there. It's one of those things where you'll listen to people tell you about what to expect and stuff, but if they don't have burn scars on the body, they really don't know. I don't care if you've worked with it as a physician for years and years, you don't know what you're talking about until you've been there. So it's a very valuable thing, and I just think it's nice, and it was for me, to talk to somebody that could tell me, yes, I know what you're feeling, and mean it.
Yeah, that's very nice. A lot of celebrities wouldn't go out of their way to do something like that, so it's always nice to hear people do that. So let's change the subject a little. Hatchet 3 is coming out soon. What can you tell us about that? Can you spoil, not so much spoil, but give off some teaser details?
Well, I mean, I can tell you that Danielle is back, I'm back, and it sounds ridiculous, but the violence is so much more intense than it's ever been.
More than the first two.
I know. Hard to believe, but when you see it, you'll see what I'm talking about, that the action and the violence is unbelievable this time.
Wow. Now, who do you think would win in a fight, Victor Crowley or your Jason?
Well, that would be a hell of a good fight, I think. I guess, I mean, Jason never dies and Victor is a repeater. So I don't think anybody would ever come out victorious because they can keep coming back, both of them. But I give a very slight edge to Victor.
Why is that? Why is that?
Just because he's a little more manic and unpredictable and doesn't do the same thing twice, and I think that would be the slight advantage.
Now, you've been in horror movies for well over 20 years. I don't want to say how long, but do you think horror movies nowadays are getting stale compared to what they once were?
I don't know. I still enjoy them. I mean, I'll always find something I like about every horror movie I watch, and I'm looking forward to seeing The Possession. I think that looks like a really good one, and I just like horror movies in general, and I don't complain that they're different than they used to be. I mean, it's an evolving thing, so I just go with it.
Okay. Now, one thing that I found interesting about you when I was doing a little research is that you're an ICP fan. You don't strike me as a 13-year-old boy. What is it about them that you enjoy so much?
I love their music. I'm a big ICP guy. Twisted as well. I always represent in some way or another
the
Hatchet Man, and it's just kind of coincidental that I'm doing movies called Hatchet, and Hatchet Man is their logo, really. But I've always been a fan. I've met them, I've worked with them, I did a video with them, and they're just really good guys, and I just love the whole persona.
Well, they definitely seem to have a loyal bunch, and they definitely seem to care about the fans, which is cool. The music doesn't resonate with everyone, but hey, whatever. You got like 8 or 10 new projects in the works that are in various stages. Can you talk about any of those at all, besides Hatchet?
Yeah, I mean, I've got movies coming out soon. one called Cut with Tony Todd, one called Tag with Scout Taylor Compton and McLovin. You know, so many other things I've done. I just finished one called Muck in Cape Cod.
Oh, Muck, what's that one about?
I play a hairless albino psychotic.
That's great.
So
That's great.
look for that one. It's an interesting character. And, you know, all kinds of stuff. Hatchet 3, of course, coming out soon. And, you know, I'm forgetting other things right now, but all kinds of good stuff.
Oh, you got a couple of books, too, don't you? Well, you want to plug those at all?
Sure. My biography came out last year called Unmasked. And the writer of my book wrote a second book called The Killer and I, which is his experiences in writing my biography, basically. Very entertaining book also, but people are really enjoying the biography because I talk about everything, not just the career. So
that's good. All right, well, one final question. Are you on Facebook, Twitter? How can your fans get a hold of you if they want to contact you?
I'm not on Twitter. I have a Facebook page, but I don't really run it.
It seems to be the going theme today.
Yeah, I just, you know, I'm not really into it, and but you need to have it for fan stuff. So the guy that wrote my book runs it, Mike Aloisi, and so you know that's how to stay in touch. KaneHodderKills.com for anything related to my work.
And briefly, do you want to say anything to aspiring stuntmen out there?
Well, it's a great business. It's very hard to get into. If you really want to do it, you'll stick with it no matter how long it takes. But be prepared to starve.
All right. Thank you for your time. I sincerely appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you.